Welcome to the Diet Starts Never podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Nigro, aka Coach Rach. This podcast will teach you how to live your healthiest life in and out of the gym and put yourself first again. Oh, and we get long-lasting results here. I've made it my mission to help my clients ditch the diet mentality and heal their relationship with food and themselves. After transforming hundreds of bodies and minds, it's your turn. Are you ready? Hey guys, Coach Rach here. This podcast is intended to inspire, educate, and support you on your health and fitness journey. I am not a medical doctor and cannot give any professional medical advice. If you are suffering from any kind of medical condition, whether it's mental or physical, please seek help from a qualified health practitioner. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back. We're here for episode 34 of the Diet Starts Never podcast. And this topic is really important. It is one that definitely embodies the Diet Starts Never memo and something that I think a tool that everybody needs to have in their back pocket, and that is intuitive eating. I think that really is the end goal for everybody, is to be able to eat intuitively, not track their food, not follow any kind of nutrition program, not follow any kind of program, and just learn how to be intuitive with their body, right? That definitely is my goal. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about my experience with it in a couple of minutes. But so let's start from the beginning. What intuitive eating is. Truly, it's just being able to go out, eat what you want while reaching your goal, while feeling really good in your body, not self-sabotaging, not feeling guilty after eating something, right? That's how we all want to feel. But I think there are so many steps you need to take in order to get there, in order to truly understand, and this is the problem that comes with intuitive eating. If you're not educated in nutrition properly, it's, am I eating enough calories? Am I eating too many calories? Am I eating enough protein or not enough? Am I, oh my God, carbs are the enemy. Like, I shouldn't be eating this many carbs. And you really need to be educated properly in proper macronutrients before jumping into intuitive eating. So what I want to cover today is the steps in order to get there. If you are somebody who wants to release a little bit from the control that, I don't know, maybe the scale, maybe that MyFitnessPal has over you, this episode is definitely for you. If you are somebody working towards an overall wellness goal, I think this is definitely something you should have in your pocket. And of course, if you're working towards an overall fat loss goal or a physique change, we have to teach you how to eat for that physique that you are working towards. So when you maintain it, you know how to maintain it, right? And I don't think you should just jump into intuitive eating if you're the type of person who has tried every type of diet in the past and has done lots and lots of restriction, and always need somebody to tell you how to eat. I don't think you are well equipped yet for an intuitive eating lifestyle, especially because what we've been told about nutrition hasn't been true, really. So, like, we've been told carbs are the enemy, eat less carbs. We've been told to eat a really high fat diet with no carbs to lose weight. We've been told to eat high protein, low carb, low fat, low calorie. And to be honest with you, none of that is going to benefit your health. So, and before we get to that intuition, I think learning how to track your macros is so important. And I think tracking your macros is such an overlooked tool, or underlooked tool rather, for getting you to that intuitive eating. And I want to offer you guys a change in perspective towards tracking macros. So when we think, or when I think at least, tracking calories, I think, okay, this is what I used to do before I was a health coach, a wellness coach. I would track my calories and I would try to get my meals as low calorie as possible so that I could get the most small amount of food in throughout the day. So I would see how I can get my salad to be as low calorie as possible, or how I could get my bowl, my rice bowl, to be as low calorie. So I would swap out rice for cauliflower to make something from 40 carbs to 10 grams of carbs. And I would just cut corners. Like, instead of having like ice cream as a treat. I would have a low calorie snack that's filled with all sorts of additives. And in return, I felt horrible. I felt like shit. I didn't look good. And I had this overwhelming control, or my fitness pal rather had this overwhelming control over me because I would overanalyze everything I ate in hopes to lose weight. And I wasn't losing any weight. I was just feeling really bad and just going in this circle. So until I learned the amazing tool called tracking macros, your macronutrients. And it's really nothing like, it's not a new phenomenon. Like, it's been around forever because your macros are your carbs, fats, and protein, which make up your food. And when I first started tracking macros, I would say I still had a bit more of that calorie restriction mindset because there was a concept called if it fits your macros, IIFYM. And as long as it fits your macros, you could eat whatever you want. So I was like, oh, cool. Now I can go eat chunkier foods that aren't going to make me feel any better either way. And still, I would try to now I would just have like more of these low calorie things. So, like, for example, like a protein bar instead of like a whole source protein, or like a brownie. And I would try to like make it macro friendly. And realistically, it just wasn't benefiting my health or my nutrition. So years later, fast forward, I adapted a whole food 80/20 macronutrient balanced approach where I focus on fueling my body 80% of the time with clean whole foods. And then I have fun 20% of the time. So, anyway, my point is, instead of looking at tracking your macros with that same mindset as calorie restriction, I would like you to try to look at it as an opportunity to learn how to fuel your body, to learn how much protein is going to help you build and maintain that lean tone physique that you want, to learn how many grams of carbs every day is going to not only energize you, but help you feel full and focused and exactly how you want to feel, and how many grams of fat is going to help your hormones stay balanced, and to make sure that you're not under eating, because we know under eating does a lot of damage to your metabolism. So, tracking macros is or learning about your body's proper macronutrients is the first step to adapting an intuitive eating lifestyle. So, I think it's so important to take the time to get to know food, and tracking macros, as long as you go into it with the right perspective, gives you that opportunity. And no, it's not the only route. You could learn food through just doing it. But if you're somebody who has struggled with restriction and under eating and yo-yo dieting, then you have to take the time to get to know food. You have to trust the process. So I would say start your journey going into tracking macros like that, thinking of it as an opportunity to know how this apple is going to fuel your goals. And then, even so, once you reach your goal, you have to learn how to maintain it. So you could, we could recalculate your calories to your maintenance calories. And now you can learn how to eat a proper macronutrient balanced diet while enjoying fun foods, going out on the weekends, having some drinks, while maintaining your goal, right? So, either way, we have to go through that first step of just learning. It's just teaching you about yourself. And I don't think you're going to ever be able to do it without knowing the science behind food. And tracking in MyFitnessPal or whatever tracking app you do teaches you about food. But remember, you guys, you have to pay attention. You can't just enter in, I don't know, 3 slices of pizza and then go look later on and be like, well, why did I go over my fats today? You have to understand, like, all right, this slice of pizza has higher fat in it. I do want to enjoy it, but I'm not getting enough protein or carbs in if I'm just eating this pizza. So, what else can I pair with this slice of pizza? And learning that balance, like I said, not only helps you reach your goal, but it helps you maintain it. We have to have that balance between fun foods and foods that are going to fuel your body. But at the end of the day, you genuinely have to want to take care of your body. You can't just be winging it and hope that like you're going to get results because you're just entering food into MyFitnessPal. Like, no, you have to take the time. You have to plan. You have to go grocery shopping. You have to meal prep. And you have to enjoy it while you're doing it. Don't just say, like, oh, I have to go grocery shopping. Like, no, you get to go do that because you are taking the time to create a lifestyle that you love and are proud of. And if maybe you realize, like, all right, this isn't for me, then maybe it's time to reassess your goal in some other way. But this is step one, is just really getting to know food. Food, we overlook it so much. It plays such a big role in our life. Our entire life is surrounded by food. We wake up, it's one of the first things on our mind. Okay, what am I eating breakfast? And if it's not, we have to get that as one of the first things on your mind. You go out on the weekends, you go out to eat meals with your loved ones. It's what brings people together. And it can be such an enemy. So I think through this approach that I just went over, we can kind of detach from food being the enemy. We can learn more about it. And eventually you can transition into that intuitive eating. So I have been dabbling in intuitive eating for myself for the past couple of months. For those of you who have followed my journey, I have been cycling between a fat loss cut, a reverse diet, and a maintenance phase for the past couple of years now. For the past, like, honestly, 8 years now. And I got my body to a place where I am so proud of it. But I wasn't able to get these results, these like true life changing physique results, um, or the ones that I have been chasing my whole life, until I started focusing more on whole food diet, until I started limiting sugars, cutting out processed food. I cut out alcohol, and it really took my physique, my mindset, my lifestyle, everything to the next level. And while I was doing that, I was tracking my food. I was entering it into MyFitnessPal. I was paying attention to my sugar intake, and I was really getting to know this new approach for myself. And it's not drastically different than what I've been doing the past, I don't know, 5 years, but it has a more overall wellness approach to it. So now for the past few months, I have just been maintaining that. I've been eating intuitively. I've been maintaining my physique. I've actually been told that I look leaner from some. My intention has not been fat loss. And you guys have no idea how good it's felt to remove that intention of fat loss. I've been working towards fat loss, oh my God, for a decade now. No, more, since I'm like 13 years old, I've been working towards fat loss. I'm 28 now, and I just am loving every second of like what I'm doing for my body right now. I'm not training nearly as much as I used to. Yeah, I miss it and I'm going to get back into it more, but I'm eating really intuitively. Like I am genuinely proud of what I'm putting in my body, and it's making me feel good. I can order out when I want. I can cook in when I want. I know exactly how much protein I need to maintain my physique. I know exactly how many grams of carbs. I know that if I know when I go over the grams of carbs that I should be having to maintain my physique, and I know when I go under it, and I know how to balance it properly. Something I don't do though is when I go over my carbs, I don't go torture myself and work out. I don't cut my calories the next day. I channel, I ask my body what it needs and I give it more of that. Sometimes when I go over my carbs, maybe it's because I needed more rest, right? When you're hungry, I'm sorry, when you're tired, your body craves sugar. And so you're going to eat more. Your body's going to tell you to eat more, maybe things that you haven't really, excuse me, craved. And so you're going to tap into that sugar. You're going to go over on those carbs. And so I'll say, all right, maybe I didn't sleep as well last night. I'm going to fulfill that craving, and I'm going to give my body the carbs that it's asking for. Maybe I'm craving chocolate. All right, where am I at in my cycle? Oh, okay, I'm about to get my period. I'm going to definitely treat myself to this chocolate. And since I'm going to have this chocolate, I'm going to modify the amount of fat I'm having with dinner. So see what I'm doing? And I wouldn't be able to do all of that unless I took the years to get to know food, to get to know my body, to create this love and appreciation for food, to create a really strong relationship with food. And now I'm in a place where I can eat intuitively. And and don't get me wrong, like I'm gonna go through phases. I'm gonna still always track my macros because it makes me feel good. It holds me accountable. Like, and I am gonna go into another fat loss phase. Um, but right now, this maintenance just feels so good. I actually am gonna go into a um literally just like a 2 week cut before the next couple of weeks, just because I want to. I'm going away. I want to just I want to be in a deficit for 2 weeks and just focus on moving my body and feeling good and maybe increasing some confidence a bit. Not that I'm lacking in any area, but like when I like to go away, this is just how I'm planning to feel really good in that bathing suit and to feel really good about all the food that I'm eating while I'm away and enjoying myself. But again, it's a maybe. If I don't feel like it, then I'm not going to do it. And I'm removing that pressure from myself. So, this is the steps I've taken to intuitive eating. Um, and maybe it's time for a recap episode on what tracking macros is like. If you need help, you can scroll all the way to the bottom of these episodes, and I have one on there. I think it's called like why tracking macros is the best way to reach your fat loss goal. And that's something else that I've tried to, rewire a bit, is how I speak about fat loss. And yes, I am a fat loss coach, but I'm also a health coach at the end of the day. So even if your goal, or even if I don't use the word fat loss in something, that's because I'm trying to help you, my listeners, my friends, my people break free from that fat loss control, break free from the control the scale and restriction has over us. So again, I'm challenging you to look at tracking your food as an opportunity to get to know it. You might start tracking and see, like, all right, let's say, for example, like you are weight loss resistant, you really struggle to lose weight, and you enter everything you ate into MyFitnessPal for the past few days, and you see you're eating 100 grams of fat a day. Just to kind of give you some context, the amount of fat you should be eating daily depends on your age, your gender, your height, your weight, your activity level, everything. So your average woman should eat anywhere from like 40 to 80 grams of fat a day. When I'm in a fat loss cut, I eat anywhere from like 50 to 60 grams. So if you're eating over 100 grams of fat, that could be hurting your fat loss goals. Or maybe you are under eating on carbs a lot. You're not even getting 100 grams of carbs in. Your body's not getting enough energy to create energy to, one, run its metabolism, which is how it creates energy force, but two, run its metabolism enough to burn fat. Get what I'm saying? So you even just need that awareness of how food is affecting your body, how much food you're putting into your body. So if you've never tracked macros before, if you want to maybe learn how to eat more intuitively, this is step one. I want you to enter everything into MyFitnessPal and just evaluate it. Evaluate um, how many grams of protein you're having. Are you having less than 100 grams of protein? Are you having less than 50 grams of protein? If you want to be toned and maintain that lean physique, you need a sufficient amount of protein. Just to give you an estimate, anywhere from like zero point 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you are 150 pounds and you want to maintain that 150 pounds of lean muscle mass, you should be eating 150 grams of protein a day. Get it? So just some examples for you guys. If you have any questions, if you need help calculating your macros, shoot me a DM on Instagram, or you can shoot me an email, hi@racheljocoaching.com. I have everything linked for you in the episode notes. And let me know your questions. What do you want to hear more of on this podcast? What do you want to learn more about tracking macro wise, nutrition wise? Like I said, I'm going to do a recap episode on macros, but next week I have an exciting episode coming for you guys. I just recorded it today, actually, with my friend Rachel, Ray for short, she goes by. She's a somatic breathwork coach, and she's going to tell us all about her journey and how breathwork can literally change your life. All right, that's it for today, guys. Short and sweet. If you learned something from this episode, please leave us a review. Leave me a review. There's no us here. 5-star review, please. And let me know, gosh, why am I doing that? In the review, what you learned from this episode. And of course, share it with a friend. Okay, bye.